Good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to be here this morning. Actually, I was planning to come with your local MPP, Jeff Leo. But as you know, he's our government chief whip. He has to stay back and look at everyone and make sure everybody voting in place and in time and doing her and his duties. So this is his job. So as I mentioned, I'm delighted to be here this morning to come to Peterborough. And when I tell you it's not the first time I come to this beautiful region, I had the privilege and honor to come a few years back when we had a clown match. It was a huge event just with the outside Peterborough. I remember it was muddy and it was sunny back then, but it was good. It was great. So yesterday we celebrated the same event in St. Thomas in our region, the big, huge clown match, international clown match in our rural area in southwest Ontario. I learned a lot about Peterborough. I came to visit several times, came to downtown, came to the lake, to the river. I learned a lot about it. It's an incredible city, it's an incredible region. I know the business community and the people of Peterborough worked very hard to make sure Peterborough placed on the map of this province and this nation. And also I learned from Sense magazine, you ranked number 10 on 154 cities across Canada. And also, a few years earlier, you were #1 in terms of business, attracting business to this city and this region. So when we talk about all this element, it's important to tell the newcomers about the important things of the city of Peterborough and also this region. It's important to outline the outstanding college and Fleming College and also Trent University, because so many people wants to come and reside in a certain area. They look at many different elements. They work at the workplace, education center, affordable rent, a place they can communicate and build a social network. And that's what we want in this province. And today I know we launched a great and important initiative, workplace integration center, to help the newcomers to find a job, to integrate in the city. As you know, I am myself an immigrant who came to this beautiful nation in 1989. I came from a country called Lebanon. Back then, Lebanon was in a great mess. It was a civil war, traveling from city to city, from town to town. Killed many people, forced some people to leave. I guess I was one of them who, back then I was a teacher. And I was a publisher for a small magazine. I used to have a partnership with a TV station, radio station. I had a good life, financially and job-wise and everything. But the stability wasn't in place. I was looking for peace and tranquility. That's why I decided to move and to come to Canada in 1899. I came just to find a peace and tranquility. And I think I was one of the many privileged people who get the chance to come to this beautiful province, to come to this beautiful nation. And as you know, we are a nation of immigrants. People come from different parts of the globe. They come looking for peace, looking for job, looking to start a new life. We welcome on a yearly basis more than 254,000 people come to this great nation. And more than 54% come to Ontario. And more than 50% stay in Toronto. So this workplace integration initiative launched by and supported by our ministry to promote many different cities across the province and tell the newcomers there is another place than Toronto. Another place is a beautiful city, a good job, a good opportunity than the big city of Toronto. It's like London, Windsor, Peterborough, Oshawa, Thunder Bay, many different cities. But those cities not well known by the immigrants, by the newcomers. They know the big cities, Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto. They know the big, huge cities. So that's why also, in conjunction with the cities across the province of Ontario, we launched the portal, which invites people before they come to Ontario to learn about many different cities, like London, Peterborough. I know not long time ago you guys launched www.welcomepeterborough.ca. So to allow people from outside this nation to learn about the Peterborough, to learn about the college you have, to learn about the university you have, to learn about your workplace you have, to learn about the opportunity they might have if they come to the city of Peterborough. So that's what we want. We want to allow people, the newcomers, to live in many different parts of the province, not in one city, not in one giant city like Toronto and Metro Toronto area. So ladies and gentlemen, I know that many newcomers face a lot of difficulties, face a lot of hurdles. And I listened to the MC a few minutes ago speaking about, that at the beginning, the newcomers focus on the language, learn ESL, English as second language. And I think at the present time it's not important anymore, because the majority of the newcomers, when they come to Canada, they come with a special ability to speak French and English. And sometimes they speak more than one language. And the language issue wasn't not a problem anymore. But the most important thing is how to come find a job. So as you know, to integrate in the system, first, maybe you have to learn the language, whether French or English. Second, to accredit your education. If you're an engineer, pharmacist, doctor, whatever, you have to get the accreditations, which, as you know, you have to go through a lot of hurdles. You have to go to all the regulators' body in the province of Ontario, to all the colleges who control those regulators' body, and to get permissions and get accreditation from them to be able to get the license and to be able to apply for jobs. And for many different years, it was very difficult for the people with international accreditations to be able to accredit their education in the province of Ontario and to be able to apply for jobs. We tried as much as possible to eliminate those barriers. We worked with the engineering college, with the accounting college, with all those regulatory bodies to help us to develop a system to allow people from different backgrounds, from different nationalities, from different universities around the globe to be accredited in the province of Ontario and to be able to apply and get a job in this beautiful province. But we still have a lot of hurdles to pass. And as I mentioned, the issue is not just about language. It's not just about also sometimes finding a job. It's about psychological barriers. And so many people across the province and so many different companies, they have no idea about the experience of the newcomers and about their educations. That's why in many different cities, in many different settlement and agency programs across the province of Ontario, try to create a portal, try to create a website, allow all the newcomers to list their credential on those websites, and also put picture of their universities, put picture of the working place. Because sometimes when we live in far away from different nations, we don't know what kind of education they have. We have no idea what kind of workplace they had before. So that's, I think, it's very important to allow the new business and the business in this province and this community to know about the credentials and know about the ability, about the skills of the people who are moving and coming to live with us. And they want to try to integrate, because part of the integration is to learn the language, as I mentioned, to find a job, and to settle, and to start feel and part of the community, and then you start to participate in giving back your talent, your skills, and to make and do whatever possible to retain the infrastructures wherever we live in our province of Ontario.